Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the poem Let America Be America Again by Langston Hughes. And this poem talks about the feelings of various ethnic groups and their overall ideas of America and what it truly stands for in the eyes of the people. Now, the author feels left out of the American dream and also thinks that it is true for other minorities and for those who don't have money, land, or power, and depicts that theme and overall message through the use of repetitions, metaphors, and point of view. Now, to start off, the author uses repetition to explain the message that freedom doesn't really exist for the author and also for other social groups in America. Now, in line 5, he starts off saying, in parentheses, America was never America to me. Then again, in line 10, he kind of reflects and repeats the same thing in parentheses again. It was never America to me. And then again, in lines 15 through 16, he says, there's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. To kind of say that all of these things, he's reflecting on how he sees America and that it was never this land of the free, and it was never what it was played out to be and what he had been told about. Now, for a metaphor, they have in this line 34, they use the word machine, which means that the machine is a metaphor for the American system, and that this system that he has lived to and has influenced the life of the author, the system has let him down and has not really reflected on what a system like this should be about. It really kind of reflects on the feelings of the African Americans during the Harlem Renaissance and how they feel as though they didn't belong, which was really the theme for all of Langston Hughes' poems in his life. And as we move on to point of view, it was told in this first person narrative through this author to make it seem more personal to all the people, because in one stanza he uses the line and again uses repetition where he states, I am the poor white, I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars, I am the red man driven from the land, I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek. So really speaking to a wider audience than just African Americans, speaking to the people who have been left out, just like the African Americans feel that they have been left out, which is really his audience, because it seems as though it was intended not just for African Americans, but for everyone living in America, because it is a very serious issue back then, as bringing out that sense of belonging and trusting the place that they live in. As we look back at line number 1, it says, Let America Be America Again, which is the title of the poem. But what is really highlighted in that line is again, because it reflects that America has changed, and it was this idea of freedom and equality and liberty, but now it's kind of using these like false promises and is not really reflecting the truth of what it is. In the third stanza, it says, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. So it's kind of highlighting that people feel as though America's ideas of equality and liberty and land of the free don't seem real, even though the aspects of those things are in the life that they live and are supposed to be there, even though they're not. Each one of the lines, like such as line 5 and 10, as I said before, they're enclosed in these parentheses, which they kind of reflect on the previous stanza to say that it is not how the author sees America. Such as line 4, he says, seeking a home where he himself is free. And then line 5 again repeats, America was never America to me. So it's just kind of saying that what he said in the previous stanza before is not going to be what is true, and it's not going to reflect what is actually happening. And that kind of aspect pulls down into the bottom where nothing is really put in these parentheses anymore. Now they're just these big statements of I am, and really talks about the things that America truly is, and brings in these different cultures and talks about the business aspect and of how America uses this idea of profit, power, and gain to really put some emphasis on what America is now and what it looks like to the public. And throughout the poem, we see that Americans, the people, are not really connected to America, though it does not show much of its appreciation back to the people. And there is that rhyme scheme. There is the tone, which changes from anger to doubt. And there are all of these aspects. And overall, the poem seems as though it's a reflection on what American dream is and what America truly stands for. There are flaws in the system, but over time, this darkness can change and bring happiness if the system or the machine takes the time to step away from the profit aspect and focus on the needs of the people.